How's it going, guys? And welcome back to DTW Podcast with me, DT. I hope you had a nice week. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. If it's sunny where you are, it is certainly sunny in Dublin today. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're okay. Today, what I'm hoping to talk to you guys about is nutrition. Okay, so I speak a lot about the core four, okay? So that's something I've just developed from research and rhyme, I guess, is that the four most important things that we can do for self-care, for our own well-being and health, is four things to do habitually. It's sleep 8 hours, drink 2 liters of water, which equates to 5 glasses, exercise every day for 40 minutes, and have your nutrition on point. So today we'll talk about nutrition, okay? So I'll talk about it from my perspective. Like, I am a PE teacher, I am qualified in personal training and nutrition, but I'm just going to speak from my experience and what works for me, all right? And everybody is individual and everybody has, their own tastes, and some people have special dietary requirements, and that's okay. So just, you might take something from this, you might not, it's just what works for me. But I'm quite conscious of what I eat, and it's again with intent and purpose. So the Oxford definition for nutrition would be foods necessary for health and or growth, okay? And what I'm hoping to discuss today is, like, I'll set out a few of the problems that I see in society right now in terms of nutrition and diet, and then offer some solutions, okay, that maybe you can integrate and implement in your own lives, because there's a lot of stuff that we're doing incorrectly in modern society. If you've been following this from the start, that I have a lot of issues with that, but nutrition is definitely one. So the problem, as I see it, right, modern society, we are overemphasizing the importance of convenience. Now, we do it in lots of things. We do it convenience of relationships, convenience of work, convenience of health, and we do it convenience of nutrition, right? We want convenience of food. And often that's counterproductive. Often that is the trade-off that we're making between convenience on one hand and health and growth on the other hand. We're leaning too far towards convenience. And something has happened over the course of our evolution that I feel as though we've lost sight of what's important when it comes to food, or we've lost context. We lost the run of ourselves. So nutrition, by definition, it contributes to health and or growth, as I've already stated. And I think if we were to focus on the health and growth aspect of food and be more conscious of what we're eating, and maybe potentially not striving for convenience all the time and not looking for easy outlets and like immediate gratification, I think if we thought on a more kind of macro long-term sense, and like not look for any end result or any goals from our food other than health and our growth, whatever you want to do for fun or convenience or even taste, you can have that separate. So like, I talk about this all the time, right? So obviously people like fast food and takeout food. If they didn't, those businesses wouldn't be in operation or as so successful as they are globally, right? So obviously there's a market for it, and obviously people like it. That's fine. But my problem falls when we use fast food and takeaway food as synonyms for nutrition, as we consider it one and the same. They're not. Like, the stuff you'd eat in a fast food outlet, like, how much of it contributes to your health and your growth, like, realistically? So if we actually are considering that as our food source for nutrition, well then, like, you're obviously going to be a deficiency. There's obviously you're not getting adequate amount of nutrition from those foods. If that's your source of nutrition, well, we're going to be lacking there. I say this is like, if you're looking at it as a treat, additional, supplementary to your diet and nutrition, yeah, there's not as much of a problem with that. It's a massive problem if we equate those restaurants and that type branding of food as our nutrition. If we have them interchangeable as one and the same, well, individually in society, we're going to have massive problems. massive problems, because it's counterproductive. It's not adding value, it's taking value from your life a lot of times. So, you know, that leads to individual problems, like health problems. We're talking, you know, cardiovascular problems, type 2 diabetes, like blood pressure issues, you know, massive, real significant things. And societally, we're looking at obesity epidemic. We're looking at, you know, children and adults with a far higher fat percentage than they should have. And we're doing it to ourselves. We're poisoning ourselves. This is choice through lifestyle. Now, there's no judgment, and I have compassion and sympathy for a lot of individuals, because like, it's a societal problem. There's enough people doing it that you can't look too directly at the individual. You know, if it's happening societally, it might be an educational thing or whatever. But like, ignorance, like, it's not really an excuse, because like, if you wanted the information, it's there. So I think if we just started looking after ourselves, so like, brass tacks, like basic, if you're in school, you look at a food pyramid, right? So like, I'm very conscious of what I eat, and you know, it's probably in line with it is in line with what's recommended in the food pyramid, you know, but you don't have to be too conscious of it if you have the fundamentals, if you understand how it operates. So like, at the bottom of your food pyramid, you'll have your fruit and your vegetables, right? And that's important. From fruit and vegetables, you get carbohydrates, you get fiber, you get protein, you get micronutrients, which are super important. Minerals, iron, vitamins, like they're the things that they're like the catalyst to make the macronutrients work. But without the micro, you won't get the benefit from the macro. So you need those vitamins, minerals, irons, and you get those a lot of time from fruit and veg. You also get them from supplements, but supplements by definition are supplementary. So we should be looking to get it from our nutrition. So fruit and veg brings all of those good stuff. Hence, it's the foundation of your food pyramid. You need lots and lots and lots. And I have lots and lots and lots. Like my shelves in my kitchen, the kitchen is 2 rooms over. The shelves are actually like a food pyramid. So like, my bottom shelves are stacked. Starts with fruit and veg. Then you get your complex carbohydrates, right? That's the second layer. That's your, you know, potato, sweet potato, bread, rice, pasta, yeah, like good stuff. And I eat an unholy amount of carbohydrates. I absolutely love them. Oatmeal, like porridge and things like that. So they're the slow burning sugars. If I was to eat carbs today, you know that statement, carb loading for a sport. If you're eating loads of pasta for the night before a big game, you get the energy the following day. I carb load for life. I eat a lot of carbohydrates, and like, that shelf now is carbs as far as the eye can see. Yeah, pasta, as I said, rice, potatoes, those are the things we're looking at. Slow burners, they're really good. People have a problem with carbs because they don't move. Carbs are no problem if you move. So carbohydrates is just another word for sugar. So you have complex carbohydrates, which are complex sugars. You have simple carbohydrates, which are simple sugars. Complex carbohydrates aren't a problem as long as you burn them off. Simple sugars tend to be always a problem, you know, if taken in any other way other than a treat or luxury from time to time. So you gotta be moving. That's what they core for. They all sink in this positive lifestyle cycle. So yeah, that's your complex carbohydrates. After that, you're kind of branching into your more proteins. So you're at your dairy here now. So like, yogurt's really important. Like, you know, everybody has individual circumstances, and you know, other than people that are lactose intolerant, you know, there's or vegan if that's your choice as well. You know, it's there's a lot of benefits from dairy products. After that is your I suppose your meats. You have your poultry, fish, red meat, eggs. These sort of products are foods. They're really important for. So protein is it's for growth and repair. Okay, so I eat protein. Let's say I eat, I don't know, whatever. So if I eat some salmon, the protein is taken from ribosomes, which are organelles in my cells, and then those ribosomes, they create growth and repair. You know, they're the factories, the protein factories. They synthesize the protein to make muscle and things like that. So You need protein for growth and repair. Now, you don't have to rely on meats for protein. In fact, my diet isn't very meat heavy. I'd eat a lot of fish, like for lunch now today. I just had some salmon. It was really nice. But you don't have to. It doesn't have to be meat based at all. In fact, so I eat lots of chickpeas, lentils. Broccoli is great for protein as well. You know, you can get it from other sources. It doesn't have to be meat, but generally speaking, meat gives high levels of protein in meat. Red meat has high levels of protein, but also has high levels of fat. Whereas poultry is leaner. Chicken, turkey especially. And then fish is really good because you get the oils as well. And that brings us on to the next one. So next layer up is your fats, right? And you need them. You need fats. Fats get a bad rep, but you need it for hair, skin, insulation, keep you warm, protection of vital organs. You need those fats. And healthy sources of fat would be seeds, nuts, fish, as I said, olives, olive oil, dark chocolate. They're all good for the healthy sources of fats, right? And you need them. And then on top of that, then, which are like the things that aren't required and also not good, you know. And people can have them as a treat, but they shouldn't be too important for you. And they're the simple sugars and fats and things like that. So are like, the stuff that your grandmother told you is bad for you is still bad for you. So don't be eating sweets, don't be eating too many sweets or fried foods or salty foods or all these sort of things, right? So that's what I would recommend. That's the food pyramid. And I live by it, guys. I live by it. So it's on point. So I tell people, right? So Oscar Wilde, ex-Trinity student. So once upon a time, Oscar Wilde was walking around these campuses. Now it's DT, but whatevs. So Oscar Wilde said everything in moderation, including moderation, and I gotta agree with that. I think that's bang on. So like everything in moderation would mean like, you know, you don't have to be on point with everything. There's no such thing as a healthy extreme. Fucking hell, I just saw my hair there. There's no such thing as a healthy extreme, and even if that is like including extreme health, you know, it is, or like extremities just aren't a good thing, guys. So I was trying to keep things in moderation, but including moderation. So I think Oscar's point was like from time to time, you know, like you want to have an extravagant blowout or whatever and not care too much about things, but that's how I live my life. So my diet, my food pyramid, like I used to say 80%, like I'm 90% to 100 in food pyramid, like in terms of what I eat. I'm so conscious of what I'm putting into me. And I still enjoy it, like it's not a chore, I don't even have to think about it, but I like my food and I eat loads of it. But generally speaking, it's the food pyramid, you know. And then that top, what I told you about there, like the top of the pyramid, the stuff that we shouldn't really be eating. I tell my clients, you know what, if you're going to go into that bracket, 20% max, but like even that is generous, like 10%. 90% you should be in the pyramid and eating those, you know, fruit and veg, carbs, you know, dairy, proteins, your fats, and then 10% I think is generous to be eating the other stuff. Like treats are there for a reason, and that's when I put back in what I discussed about the fast food and the convenience stuff. Have that in your 10%, grand, but no more. But his point was everything in moderation, including moderation. So from time to time you're going to blow out and not think about these things, and I think that's healthy, and it alleviates some of the pressure on yourself, because like life shouldn't be difficult, and it's not. If you think long term, plan for the future long term, look for the solution or the answer that gives you the most, you know, the most gains, the most advantages. But like, keep it simple then. But like, what your grandmother told you was unhealthy, still unhealthy. What your grandmother told you was healthy is still healthy. You know, this stuff isn't too complex or complicated. We don't have to make it. Some people do. We don't have to make it complicated. Because I'm a wellbeing coach and I'm doing a PhD in physical activity and positive mental health, I thought also it might be useful to spend a couple of minutes talking about nutrition relative to mental health specifically. So I'm very, very strong in my advocacy of health is health, right? So I don't really see the need to distinguish between physical and mental, like more often than not. But in this instance, I just think there might be some use in talking about foods that can help or hinder our mental health, specifically anxiety, okay? So there are foods that can cause anxiety or cause an increase in anxiety, and there are foods that can reduce anxiety, and I think that's useful to know. So foods that we should avoid, ideally, the stuff I mentioned already. See, that's what I'm saying about like physical, mental health. It doesn't really matter. Health is health. So there's consistency throughout. So look, definitely reduce caffeine. Like there's a direct correlation between caffeine intake and anxiety. So like just watch how much coffee you drink. What else is bad? Like the salty food, the fast foods, the overly processed foods. So foods, guys, the best type of food that you can eat is a whole food. So an apple is an apple, a tomato is a tomato. And like get the whole food and then break the whole foods down into a meal if you so wish and chop and change between. But don't get overly processed foods with lots of ingredients. The fewer the ingredients, the better. So those are the foods to avoid. You know, that deep fried stuff, the takeaway stuff, not good. Foods to enjoy for your mental health. So blueberries, guys. I don't know if any of you follow Gary Vaynerchuk. I've heard of him. He's an entrepreneur, but he's just a real cool guy in the States and like really successful entrepreneur. But he's also a cool guy, and he says he eats blueberries like it's his job, and he does it for those reasons. You know, blueberries are the best. I eat a ferocious amount of blueberries. So yeah, other fruits to eat. Avocado is good, asparagus is good, broccoli is good, spinach is good, turkey is good, almonds are good, oranges are good. All these foods have been proven to reduce anxiety. Drink a hell of a lot of water, just like loads of water also helps. But those are the things, guys, and again, we don't have to complicate these things. Keep it simple, stupid. But it's important that you operate within your food pyramid, so lots of fruit and veg, lots of carbs, a healthy amount of protein and fats, and then stay away from bad stuff. And you know they're bad, right? And let's shift our mentality regarding food from convenience and taste to health and growth. If we do that collectively, individually we'll be healthier and happier, and as a society we'll be healthier and happier. And what's more important than your health and happiness? Tell me, I challenge you, what's more important than your health and your happiness? Let's start putting health and happiness first, shall we? Okay guys, well that's about me now for today. A happy Wednesday, I hope you have a good one. If you get a chance, get out to the sunshine, be kind to yourself, and yeah, none but love.